This is Jason Rue with Fansided. We are now welcoming on Chargers running back Austin Ekeler. Austin, you and Joshua Kelly coming off a huge week one with Kellen Moore taking over at offensive coordinator. As someone who struggles myself with fantasy football, I know you're a little bit of a fantasy football guru yourself. I got to ask you, are you and JK the new premier running back handcuff with Kellen Moore, kind of like he had with Zeke and Pollard last season?
I like that. It's hard for me to believe that you're struggling with fantasy if you're talking about like the handcuffed and like you're talking about, different matchups and, offensive coordinators. So I don't know if I believe that one. But yeah, there's definitely is an opportunity for us to continue to break out together. And I would love for that because I think it helps both of us, right? It helps us both stay healthy, fresh. We feel like, we can make it week to week. And I remember when I was splitting with Melvin Gordon, early in my career where I was like, I felt good after the game. So wanting to, find that feeling again and, have someone else that we could trust on the field and keep up that same high level of play.
Yeah, absolutely. I can talk the big game, but I can't perform when the lights are shining the brightest.
Okay.
That week one, though, it did earn you a nomination for the FedEx Ground Player of the Week. I saw the great promo that you guys filmed. It made me want to vote you president, let alone ground player of the week. How can the fans listening to this, how can they show their love, and vote for you, not as president, but for the ground player of the week?
Yeah. So not only am I voted or I'm nominated for FedEx Ground Player of the Week, I also have teamed up with FedEx as well to kind of just bring more visibility to just this campaign that we have in general. And so it's a great campaign. FedEx over the journey of this is donating $100,000 to HBCUs throughout the year. And they do it in this fun way by letting the fans choose players of the week that we can now go and donate that money to the HBCU of our choice in forms of scholarships. And so it's more opportunities that we're putting back in the community. So yes, so help me help other people and FedEx by voting for me at NFL.com/FedEx. And do your good deed of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever won the ground player of the week? I know you've been nominated.
I have won it before. And look, it's a new year. So, in the past, it doesn't really matter. But now going into the future, I got it right. There's this end of the year award that we're trying to build up to, right? Mm-hmm. Which is the NFL, right? Ground player of the year. And then that person gets a bigger chunk of money to donate. So got to continue to not only play for me, for my fantasy teams, for the Chargers, but also to rack up as many awards as we possibly can and hopefully get this FedEx Ground Player of the Year.
Yes, sir. I love it. Speaking of HBCUs and what FedEx is doing to support them, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, he did a lot to support HBCUs at Jackson State, kind of elevated, the spotlight on that program. Now he's taking the leap over to Colorado. I know you're a Colorado guy, went to high school in Colorado, played at Western Colorado. Have you been keeping tabs at all, at what Prime is doing at Colorado? And what are your thoughts if you are?
Man, if you're around football at all, it's hard not to see what's going on with them. And that kind of just shows, the power of media, right? Because there's media all over this man and all over his team and what's going on. And so we appreciate people like yourself keeping us updated on these cool stories and helping me, like myself, continue to spread stories as well. Media is a crucial role and they have, a very important part. So I think that's really what it's been. Yeah, I've been following Prime, but it's really the stuff I see in the media. I haven't been watching the games or anything like that, but it seems like, he's turning around a program and doing it in a way that seems professional, but very unique to what Prime is about. And that's really being energetic, that's being disciplined, that's being focused and being extremely just bought into some type of bigger thing than yourself as an individual. So I hope he's continued to make a change over there for Colorado because I think they definitely can use it after their year last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the media and kind of coverage on issues and things happening in the football world. Last night, Monday Night Football, we saw a huge injury. Aaron Rodgers, first drive, tears his Achilles. A lot of conversation about the turf. Breece Hall said something about the turf, and that's been an ongoing conversation. You obviously play at SoFi Stadium, which has had some injuries happen on that turf. Do you think a high-profile injury like that to one of the faces of the game in a big spotlight is maybe going to push that conversation forward? Like, hey, let's get some more grass fields going, or how do you think the NFL is going to kind of respond to this?
Yeah, the turf conversation isn't anything new. Mm-hmm. We've been having this conversation for a really long time, and whether you can justify whether it's safer or not has been in the air a little bit, just because we have the data. We have the data. We have the data from grass fields and turf fields, and I can't speak on it because I haven't been studying it religiously to actually put out something that's like definite of what it is, but I know it's very close for the both of them, if not actually the same. And so the thing is, for turf, there's a lot of resources and money going into trying to make turf safer in a way. And I say it like that because it's still played on, concrete underneath this. So it's not going to be grass. Like when I play on grass, it feels a lot different than when I play on turf. Is that the cause of the injury, or is it just, unlucky? There's that, and that plays a factor into it as well. Because there's injuries that happen on grass too. So I don't want to get too into the weeds on it, but yeah, it's just unfortunate, that injuries happen in the NFL. And that's just a reminder that no one's safe from injuries, and not even, quarterbacks that are, protected by rules of the game, all the way down to, the second string, long snapper, right? Everyone can get hurt in this game, and it's unfortunate, but it's a thing that we have to deal with as football players.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what's made you such a great, ground player of the week nominee, but also a fantasy option, has been your durability. The last 2 years, you've only missed one game, and I believe it was that weird COVID game against the Houston Texans 2 years ago. We don't have to bring that up. But your durability has been one of your biggest strong suits. You hear athletes like LeBron James investing $1 million a year on his body. Is there any, you're obviously in great shape, is there any unconventional ways that a common NFL fan might find weird that you kind of do for your body to stay healthy and stay ready?
I don't know if you'd find it weird. That's from your perspective. However, all I do is work out.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'm not doing these cryo. I'm not doing cold tub. I'm not doing, acupuncture. I'm not doing eat clean and work out. As old school as it gets. I'm 4 days a week during the season. I go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And then eat clean. That's what's worked for me for so long. I've tried stretching. I've tried red light therapy. I've tried the saunas. I've tried the hot tubs. I've tried the cold tubs, cryo, the shocking stem, all this stuff. And it's just my body just, I don't know, it feels better after just I work out. And so it's kind of where I've got this reputation of being, one of the strongest guys in the league. And it's because I've been doing that for, 20 years or so, as long as I can remember. Yeah, I guess maybe you could think that's unconventional. I don't do any of that stuff. You guys can have it. You see me in the weight room.
You're so conventional. It's almost unconventional compared to all the modern science going on nowadays.
That's a good one. Yeah, because there's all try this. And it's is this real? Is this real, or is this just good marketing? You have to question that, right? Yeah. Is this actually going to help you? Those bands that people sell, hey, there's this wrap that's supposed to bring heat to the place. And it's got copper in it, and it's supposed to I'm is that just good marketing to people that have no idea what the heck even is supposed to be working for them? But anyway, I digress.
It's all those strange Germany doctors I feel like we hear about all the time. Last question, Austin, we have to let you go. We started with fantasy football with FedEx, all the great things we're doing. I want to make it come full circle. Again, you're big into fantasy. You're a fantasy football guru yourself. I just want to get your fantasy football Mount Rushmore all time if you had to build one. Put you on the spot.
So you put me on the spot. However, see, when it comes to fantasy and me, the reason I'm in fantasy is because of the community aspect. Mm-hmm. And so when you talk to me about fantasy, it's because I love to get people together. I love what it does for their game. It brings people together. It's not because I'm studying every night about, hey, the fantasy players that, came before me and what are the tendencies against this defense? Should I start this backup or this back? If you want that, you got to go to my show and talk to Matt Harmon, and he can give you those types of insights because he literally is writing down the routes of every receiver and his company. He's insane. So I can't necessarily give you an answer on that, but I can tell you this: if you have me on your team, it's going to be pretty good. So hopefully you have me on your team.
Maybe that's where I've gone wrong. I haven't been able to snag you the last few years. So
yeah. That's definitely, there you go. That's your first tip. Yeah, come to Ekeler's Edge. I'll give you some more.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your time, Austin. Anyone who wants to vote Austin or anyone else for the FedEx Ground Player of the Week, we know you want to vote Austin. Be sure to check it out, FedEx.com. You can also vote on social media over on Twitter. They have the little poll going on. And you can also vote the Air Player of the Week as well. Herbo's not nominated this week, but he'll be nominated a lot throughout the week. So Charger fans, show their love to Austin Ekeler, FedEx, and Justin Herbert. Thanks again, Austin.
Would appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.